Previously on Left Behind.
Now you will die, old man.
You must let them flee this place before you pour out revenge on your enemies. Never.
I really care about you, David.
Hannah, what?
No, don't say anything now.
You're 5 out of 7 on the vehicles, and you made 2 big holes in the rocks below me. It sounded like World War IV.
Oh, you act as if you know what is coming. Want to play?
Based on Desecration, the 9th book in the best-selling series, Tyndale House Publishers proudly presents episode 102 of the dramatic audio edition of Left Behind.
You, my lord, are the good spirit of the world and the source of all good things.
Yes, I am. Now, hold him steady. Yeah, I have him. Oh, keep the rope tight. And now. Hold him so I can get my hands under his neck. Yes, I want to feel the life pouring from him. Here. Have some blood! Hey! What's the matter, huh? What's the matter? A little blood never hurt anyone. Oh, where is your fight now? My little swine friend. Is it you, like the antiquated religious tenets of old, lie lifeless on the floor? And I tower over you with the power of life and death. Get it out of here and bring in my image. You have seen it with your own eyes. Is this not the most vile man who has ever lived? I call on all who have resisted or delayed in accepting his mark and plead with you to refuse it.
He would sacrifice a pig in the Holy of Holies. He dances in the blood of his victims. This is not a god. This is anti-God. He should be the one killed. The golden statue. They are carrying it towards the temple. Destroy the image of the enemy. Destroy it. Destroy it.
Doc, this is getting out of hand.
We should move to a safer place.
They're attacking the morale monitors.
Smash the statue. Destroy it now.
There goes the video wall.
Hillman, get the camera, quickly.
Hang on, we need this. Hang on!
You will not broadcast the evil one's image again. Death to Carpathia!
Man, sorry, Doc. Looks like we're off the air.
Can you see what is happening?
Carpathia is standing just inside the entrance. He just overturned the scaffold. Okay. Nick looks scared here. He's moving back into the temple entrance just a little. Oh, and the mob's not going in after him.
No doubt. In spite of what he's done, they do not want to assassinate him there.
Ironic. Oh, Moon and Fortunato just popped up behind Carpathia. I can really stand up straight. Carpathia's getting a megaphone from one of the morale monitors.
You have breached the covenant! That is right! My pledge of 7 years of peace for Israel is rescinded! Now, you must allow me here, Mike! No, please, my brothers and sisters of the Cloak community, I will see that you are healed of your sores, but you will know that it is I who love you and bring you peace!
We have no swords! Save you alone!
You will not be here alive, pretender!
Hear me! It is not the due time for the man of sin to face judgment, though it is clear he has been revealed. God has chosen to allow this evil for a time, and impotent as this enemy of your souls may be today, much more evil will be perpetrated upon you under his hand. When he once again gains advantage, he will retaliate against his presumption and his authority. And you would do well to not be here when his anger is poured out.
That is right. You will rue the day when you dare.
You! Lest you choose to face a worse plague in its place, you shall let God's chosen ones depart before this curse is lifted.
Yeah,
Chang, camera is trashed.
yeah, I saw it go away.
You getting what's going on now?
Yeah, but the GC can't decide whether Carpathia would want it on the air.
Well, it's not exactly Nick at his best.
Are you going to the Knesset?
Well, if the doc goes, I go. Why?
Leave your phone open. I'll patch it to everyone
Let
else.
those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his house. And let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes.
We have exposed the potentate as an impotent pretender. Why should we flee?
Because God has spoken.
Now we're supposed to believe you are God?
The great I Am has told me, whatsoever he even thinks comes to pass, and as he purposes, so shall it stand. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Go now, everyone. Go. Go.
Doc, can you believe that? No questions, no search. The guard didn't even ask my name.
This judgment is overwhelming the GC forces. I believe that guard was a member of the Knesset janitorial staff. I think this is it.
Forgive me for not standing. Please sit.
I represent the one true God and his son Jesus the Christ. I prefer to stand.
All right. I am letting these people run off to the hills. When do the sores go away? I upheld my end of the bargain.
We had a bargain?
Come, we're wasting time. You said you would lift this spell if I were to...
That is not my recollection. I said that if you didn't let them go, you would suffer yet a worse plague.
So I let them go. Now you...
It is not as if you had a choice.
Are we here to play word games? I want sores on my people healed. What do I have to do?
Make no attempt to stop Israeli Messianic believers from getting to Petra.
Have you not noticed? I am the only full-time employee of the global community not suffering from this plague.
And that only because you have not taken your own mark. So I dare say they worship yourself.
Our medical experts have determined that there is no connection between the application of the mark of loyalty and your soul.
If your medical experts know so much, how is it that they have been able to offer no relief?
You do not dare to lift the curse for fear your fate will be the same as your two associates at the wall.
Why does your bad breath not surprise me?
You insolent hold. So, you are not here to negotiate, hmm?
I am here to remind you that this script has already been written. You lose.
If I am not God, I challenge yours to slay me now. Eh? I spit in his face and call him a weakling. If I remain alive for 10 more seconds, he and you are frauds.
What kind of a god would he be if he felt compelled to act on your timetable?
Excellency, a word, please.
What? What is it?
Please, your worship, a moment.
Well, I suppose you concur, Moon.
I do, Excellency.
It was his idea.
All right. Leon, Walter, Leave now. I want a meeting. You know where, with a full cabinet.
Not here, Excellency?
No! You know the location of which I speak. These walls have ears. This one, your assistant. He makes me nervous. Does he have to be here?
He does?
My people are pleading for respite. I recognize that I am forced to concede something.
And that would be?
That I must submit to you in this. I am prepared to do what I have to do to enable a lifting of the plague.
You are under the authority of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, maker of heaven and earth. You will allow this exodus. And when I am satisfied that the people under my charge are safe, I will pray God to lift the affliction.
How long?
This is a huge undertaking. 6 hours should be telling, but should you attempt to lay a hand on one of the chosen, the second judgment will rain down like a flood of biblical proportion.
Understood. Your days are numbered, my friend.
As are yours, my friend.
Do you see the despair, Cameron? Those who have taken the mark have no hope. It is no wonder they act as they do.
Yeah, but look at all the Operation Eagle vehicles. They are everywhere.
He is risen!
Christ is risen indeed!
So, Doc, where are we headed? Mount of Olives?
Yes, then to Masada to see what kind of a crowd we've attracted.
Question, why 6 hours? You actually trust Carpathia?
Trust him? Of course. He was willing to shake on it.
Okay, dumb question. But there's no way everybody will be safe by nightfall.
We already know he will break the agreement, Cameron. Revelation 12 is clear that Israel is given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, but that the serpent spews water out of his mouth like a flood running after her. Theon believes the flood is Antichrist's army. That same chapter says the earth helps the woman by opening its mouth and swallowing up the flood. May the Lord forgive me, but I would very much like to see that. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Chang, you still there?
Yeah, working on a new hot wire to the Phoenix connection.
You're the best.
Thanks. Boy, that whole Knesset thing was kind of spooky, huh?
Yeah, well, stay tuned.
I'll call you when I'm ready to patch you in.
All right, got it.
Rayford, where are you right now?
Inbound to the Mount of Olives. Set to pick up the first arrivals.
How do you feel about the operation?
I gotta tell you, my military training was all during peacetime. This is the first time I've been responsible for so many people in such a hot situation.
But you have been through so much with the Tribulation Force.
All the same, I'd love to have a no casualties guarantee.
We certainly have had no such guarantees, even in our inner circle, have we?
Thanks for the encouragement, Doc.
I just want to be honest, Captain. I assume that is what you want as well.
What I want is to know we're all going to walk away from this.
I believe we will lose none of the 144,000, but most of those are scattered throughout the world. I am also fairly certain that the prophecies indicate that God will protect the Messianic believers who are fleeing Jerusalem. Of course, you're asking about your operational personnel.
That's right.
We can only pray and hope.
I'm committed to not engaging the enemy in kill strikes.
I am sympathetic to that. And yet the enemy will most certainly suffer losses. The way the verses read, many will perish in the calamities God puts in their paths.
Yeah, well, I have no problem with him taking care of that.
I should be in bed, Excellency. I hate to complain, but I might have wished this meeting could have been held at the Knesset. The incessant moving about...
Stop your blubbering, Walter. I am not discounting your discomfort, but you make it sound as if you're death's door.
It feels like we are, Lordship. I'm not one to...
Of course you are. Now, I laid down the law to this Micah character and got him to guarantee a lifting of this disease by 9 tonight, or there would be consequences.
You did?
Yes.
Well, how...
He had better tread lightly with me.
But I thought...
That is your problem, gentlemen. Sometimes you must act viscerally. and do what needs to be done. Where is everyone?
Many are being pulled from sick beds, which is where I would...
Yes, you should be. Yes, I know, Walter. Here is Suhail. Let me know when we are all here.
How long will it take to recover once the affliction has been lifted?
I do not know, but even if there is residual fatigue or pain, you must all fight through it and encourage your people to do the same.
Mr. Hutt completes the contingent, potentate.
You look terrible, son.
I feel worse.
I cannot imagine. So how is my inaccurate shooting friend?
Very funny.
Excuse me, but was that 2 times consecutively you addressed me without title?
Well, pardon me, Your Highness.
You would employ sarcasm with me?
I shot that man 8 times at point-blank range, worshipfulness. The heckler I killed from 2 feet away. You couldn't have killed that Micah character yourself.
Mr. Moon, your sidearm.
Excellency, please,
Is everyone planning to disrespect me?
No, Excellency.
I have death pills enough for the lot of you, and I deliver them through the barrel of this gun.
If you could have killed Micah, why didn't you?
Oh, I see. You honor him with your respect, but not me. No. Not your risen lord.
You are nothing to me, Carpathia.
On your feet, boy.
I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
Walter, have the stewards get the body out of here.
Yes, Excellency. Stewards?
Now, who's next? Is there someone here who would care to fire upon me?
No.
No, Excellency.
Please, potentate.
Is there another among you who retains some notion that this is not serious business? I remind you that I was dead 3 days and raised myself. I have demanded your freedom from these sores, and I believe you will enjoy healing tonight. Regardless, in the meantime, you and yours will be up and about the business of carrying out my battle plan.
Battle? But would not an attack bring back the plague, Excellency?
You see what I have to work with here. Mr. Moon is my supreme commander, my executive vice president, if you will. Yet he wants to know if an attack would not bring back the plague. Honestly, Walter, do you think I am new to the game of negotiations?
No, sir.
Spare me. The curse will be lifted at 2100 hours. And the hundreds of thousands of cowards will be in one of 4 places. Now, who knows the locations? Well, anyone. Come on, someone!
The Mount of Olives en route to Mispar Ramon, Masada, or Petra.
Excellent. Someone is thinking. And what is of interest to us regarding so many people in so few places, huh? Suhail?
They are together, and they are vulnerable.
Precisely. I want the whole of Israel declared a no-fly zone for all but global community aircraft at 2115 hours.
Yes, excellent.
And while you are at it, Director, establish a curfew at the same time in all of the United Carpathian States for civilian vehicular traffic. Prepare a retaliatory strike for the damage we suffered at Petra earlier today.
Where will we attack, potentate?
Masada at 2130 hours. What would it take to ensure annihilation?
We have the firepower, sir.
Excellency, if this Micah character were to call down the plague of boils again...
He will know the consequences if we act quickly.
And if he follows through with his threat regarding the water...
No, the what-ifs will do you in one day, Walter. You serve the ruler of the universe, and we shall prevail. I have tricked this wizard into breaking his spell, and before he realizes his mistake, we will have regained the advantage. We can virtually eliminate the Jerusalem Orthodox Jews and cripple the Judahites to the point of extinction. Ideally, we will flush out Ben Judah himself, and this time he will not find me so hospitable.
Sir, whoever pulled off the ambush today displayed some rather heavy firepower themselves.
That merely justifies whatever level of retribution we deem appropriate, right? What, were there any casualties?
Well, no reports of anyone actually hit. Just 2 unaccounted for.
Missing in action?
You could say it that way, Excellency.
2 MIA. Well, I can assure our kill ratio will be much better than these amateurs.
And those who reach Petra?
Petra as a place of refuge is ludicrous, Walter. It is as defenseless as Masada. They will be on foot, stuffed into a bowl made of rock. It will be like a massive pot of Judahite stew. We shall simply wait until they're all inside, and then turn up the heat.
Op Eagle, this is Chopper 1. Listen up, folks. We're rerouting all air traffic direct Petra. No stops. Repeat, no stops at Mizpah Ramon. Ground vehicles will deliver their charges to the foot passage into Petra. Those who can walk in, will. Those who can't, we air hop inside. Continue routes to and from the Mount of Olives and disregard an expected air curfew. Repeat, disregard air curfew. Take evasive and defensive action as necessary. No matter what happens, do not fail these people. Chopper 1 out. All right, everybody here?
All conference stand, Cap. Where are you, Captain?
Loading at the Mount.
I'm on my way. ETA 5 minutes.
Good.
Any rethinking on your no-shooting policy there, Cap? Say yes?
Albie, if you press that button, it's more than likely to blow up in your face.
Armas Ray. George has enough weapons.
Please tell me George was not dialed in to the Phoenix patch? LB?
Ray, you know me better than that. You said nobody but Trip Force, and that's the way we played it.
How many of our pilots would know how to handle a .50 caliber?
None of them. You issue those to the drivers on the ground. It's too erratic and dangerous from the air. Give us the dues. Somebody stops us on the ground, we can eat them up.
Ground defense is nice and all, but they're planning to shoot us out of the air, gentlemen.
Yeah, the only way you're going to prevent that with the 50s is to shoot first. That means a change of policy. Is that where this is heading here, Ray?
All right, gentlemen. After you unload your passengers, swing by Mizpah Ramon and pick up a third of the dues each and distribute them to your squadrons. The first one there, get Leah and Hannah evacuated. You'll need room for their supplies, too.
Where are we taking the women?
Masada for now.
You going to distribute 50s to the ground drivers then, Chief?
I'm still working on that one, Mac. I'll get back to you.
All right.
Godspeed, gentlemen.
We'll see you, Ray. Godspeed to you.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yes, a scene only God could orchestrate. I have asked Rayford that I be taken last.
I'm not going before you do.
We must see these people to safety. I will pray now that God will lift the plague of boils completely and restore everyone to full strength.
Are you sure you want...
I want them overconfident when they try to take vengeance. And when the second plague rains down, I pray it will carry God's full potency.
Steele.
Rayford, it's David. I wanted to check on the situation with the nurses. They okay?
No reason to believe otherwise. Did you try calling them?
Well, I talked with Hannah a little while ago, but
Look, let me check on them.
Okay.
Listen, we have a change of plans. As a precaution, we're putting weapons in each chopper and moving the med center.
You need my help on that?
Now, you hang in there and coordinate until Heim arrives, which may still be a couple of days.
You know, I could deputize one of the first tech types to get here. There's no real science to what I'm doing.
What, for your job? I don't know, David. Why don't you stay put?
Think about it. As long as they speak Hebrew and you trust them, that'll free me up to hop back to the strip with you and load the guns.
I'm not even sure I'll issue the 50s.
Well, I'm willing if you need...
David? What's the matter?
I thought I heard something.
You need to go?
Maybe it's just... No, I hear voices.
Can you see anything?
Crawling to the edge. Peacekeepers. Two of them with rifles.
Those must be the two missing in action. David, you take cover and stay on it.
No, they saw me straight.
David!
They're taking aim!
David, get out of there!
Ah!
David! David!
Left Behind, the dramatic audio series, is based in part on the book Desecration by Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins. Adapted for radio by Chris Fabry. Music by Steve Wick. Sound design by Glenn West. Directed and produced by Todd Bastide. Left Behind, the dramatic audio series, is a production of Gap Digital and Tyndale House Publishers. Thank you for listening.